Hello everybody and welcome to yet another how-to video. Today we're mostly going to be showing you the new mashup feature in Suno, which I'm very excited about. And I have tried and tested it a few times by now, but definitely want to encourage others to try it too. So I'm going to kind of walk you through on how that works. And then we're also going to discuss a few other things I've noticed a lot in the Suno space. Over prompting Suno. And not really noting like the, I call it the punctuation of music. People write great lyrics and doing some really cool stuff, but may not know about some of these things. So I think we're going to go ahead and dive into that today. All right, so first up, you'll notice I have Suno up, and I've uploaded a couple samples. Here's the first one. And this is the second one. So we basically have some really nice jazzy things. Now, you notice I may have already put the lyrics already in here. I already put in a style of nocturnal, romantic, electro-noir, minimalist, bossa nova with a smooth tenor saxophone, warm, sultry, and sensual female contralto. Sorry, doubled up on the female there. Warm, sultry, and sensual contralto female vocalist with gritty delivery. So a lot of people don't know how to do voice prompting very well. So these are like inflections and different things that you put on the voice. You definitely need to know your vocal ranges. Contralto is like the lowest female range there is. Gender and vocalist, it's a strong word there. And then gritty is more like the inflection and things like that. So, you definitely need to learn that stuff to really get some good vocals out of Suno. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. Now, just to do a mashup, the first thing you're going to need to do is go to Remix Edit and then click on Mashup. Okay. And then drag your second sample underneath it. And we're going to keep the lyrics because I spent some time writing those lyrics. Okay, great. So basically you have sample 1, sample 2, right? Or whatever you want to use for your mashup there. Okay, and now let's go into, like I was describing, the punctuation of music. So usually between intro and the verse, you want an instrumental section. And the three main instrumental sections we're going to be talking about today are the drop, which is like a decreaser. It's a lowering of tension. It's basically very heavy in bass for a lot of music styles. And that really sets up the tone for getting into the song. So first thing we're going to do, from the intro, we're going to drop down into the verse. Okay, so we're going to put a drop there. Now we have going from the verse to a pre-chorus. Now, the second basic punctuation, now there are other forms of punctuation in music than just what I'm talking about, but these are your basics, is a lift. That's a riser. That's going to actually increase tension a little bit and lead us into the pre-chorus. So usually after a lift, you want to do the opposite and drop again. So, and drop is usually a good way to set up a chorus. So we're going to do that. So again, we're using our punctuation marks here. And again, it's very simple. Suno does not require a lot of heavy prompting. Sometimes less is more with Suno. It really is. Okay, now here we are at the end of the course. Now this is a complete section, so we need a break. We need to let our singer breathe. We need to let the music flow. So we're going to put a break in there. Think of that like a full stop. But it's not really. So we put a break in between the end of the course and a verse. Okay. Same thing here. We're going to give it a lift before a pre-chorus. These are the general rules. I mean, you can mix it up and play with it as you wish. But once you hear what it does, it's going to really enhance your music quite a bit. And then after this, a drop. Okay. Now from the chorus, the second chorus, usually we have a bridge. Bridge is like the middle part of our song. So usually we need to go from chorus, verse, or however you structure it, into the bridge. So this is actually a different type of punctuation. It's called a transition. And that's going to change it up. So you're not just repetitive and just keep do lift and drop and lift and drop. So instead of a break here, we're going to transition into the bridge. Now normally, and this is very common in a lot of music, after the bridge you want to put a really cool like guitar solo or saxophone solo or whatever instrument you're using. You really want to feature that main instrument. So I phrase it this way. Now, other people phrase it other ways, but this is how I tell Suno what I want it to do. I call it a middle eight. Okay. I mean, technically a bridge and a middle eight are the same thing, but not really. So the middle eight is going to be my solo. So I want a saxophone here because this is a very sax heavy piece because, again, I have this smooth tenor saxophone. So we're going to put that in here and copy it just as it is from the style box. Smooth tenor saxophone solo. But usually I find if I just do that, it's going to be very short. It's not really going to give me a full saxophone feeling. So I kind of got to make it a little longer. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to put instrumental. I'm just going to use whatever instrument is being used above that line. Just basically continue that saxophone. And then the style. And usually I just repeat some of the style elements I put in down here, like electro noir, bossa nova. So yeah, let's do that. Electro noir, bossa nova. Interlude. Right? So that's just going to be a longer solo and just tells it and just reinforces it with the style music from your music style box down below. Now, normally we don't put this into songs, but this one wanted that, so I put a break in there and then a break down. Now, again, we're going in between sections here, right? There's a section. So let's do a riser here. But this one is going to be a little different, so it's going to be the final lift because we're not going to do any more lifts after this. That's going to be the final one. And that tells Suno to change it up a little bit from the previous. Now we have another chorus. So of course we're going to usually drop before a chorus. That's normal, but you can again switch it up if you like. It's going to be a final drop. Right. Okay. And now we have the chorus. And then we have an outro. Now between a chorus and outro, yes, I definitely want to break, just like I did above there. But this could be more of a climactic break. So we're going to put climax there. This will give you a little bit more excitement before the outro. And then usually in the outro, I mean, you can put other things in here if you like. There's plenty of things to do. But I like a big finish. And that will create a certain style of outro. Now, most people just put end here. And that's cool. But so you can cut off very shortly and not give us a really good ending. So what I like to do here is I'll put an instrumental fade. So that will actually be like a fade out effect, but with just the instrumentals, and really give it a good ending, because then it'll lead into the end. And that's really all you need. In your lyrics box, just your lyrics and just to know your punctuation marks, and it will really sound better. Just give it a try. And then another cool thing I like to do here with these advanced options, now I'm a little more riskier than some people with these sliders here. I like about 2/3 on my weirdness. Don't ask me why, but it can cost you credits because it's more experimental this way. But I just feel like it lets us Suno play with these a little bit more, get more creative, and how it mixes and mashes those up into the song. So I like about 2/3 on my weirdness. Now the style influence, that's how strongly this is going to influence the song, and I want that at 75%. I really definitely want strong influence there. And the audio influence, this is this part, how much is this going to influence my song? About 1/3 is fine, 33%. Okay. I did forget to title my song here, so just a second. Where did that song's title go? Okay. Here I'm telling ChatGPT what we're doing. It's kind of like my secretary takes my notes. When the God looked down. Okay. Oops. So I'm just going to copy and paste that into Suno here. All right. And then from here, everything else is looking good. Just like always, you just hit create or generate, and out it pops. Just if you would like to see how this turns out, check it out. It's going to be track 2 of my new album, Cupid's Day 2026. Again, the title of the song is When the God Looked Down. And you'll see what we got here. Thank you so much for watching my how-to video, and stay awesome.